Linux is not just an operating system. It's a skill that can boost your career and income. Linux is a preferred platform for cybersecurity professionals, and it can give you an edge in the job market. In this video, I'll show you how you can learn Linux and why you should start today. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk to you a little about the Linux operating system and why you should start using it if you aren't already doing so, and how it can boost your career in the IT and cybersecurity fields. When I first started using Linux, I delved into it in my early days of IT. Didn't really do too much of it. I knew the basic commands, but I didn't actually know Linux. When I got into cybersecurity, I realized I really needed to know Linux. So I tried to look for resources online. What can I do to learn Linux? I actually stumbled onto a video by Chris Titus, and I'll link it up above here, about his journey into using Linux and what he did. So I actually took a lot of information from his video and kind of made it my own. I installed Linux on my servers, installed it as the main operating system, and used it for 30 days. I actually found myself using it for 60, 90 days, 6 months. I actually have a computer now that I use it on just strictly for Linux. Truth be told, it's one of my favorite operating systems, but I still do go back to Windows for certain things. You don't have to be a diehard Linux fan to completely understand Linux. It's actually really good to understand all the different operating systems. However, if you don't know Linux today, you're really cutting yourself short in the job market. So what can you do to learn Linux? As I said, you take 30 days, learn Linux. You can also start self-hosting things. You can do different things on like installing web servers. Like I have one here, just a standard Ubuntu server. You can make file servers. You can set up a virtual private network, a VPN. Most important thing is if you do install Linux, live in a command line. Don't just go and install Linux just so you can cruise the web. I can do that on a Windows operating system. I can do that on a Mac. Actually learn the command line. That's the heart of Linux. You do a lot more with Linux using command line versus just using the GUI. When you start, learn the basics. Learn how to create a new user. Learn about networking. Learn how to change the host name. Learn what escalating to root means. Why does this matter? Why do you need to escalate privileges? I know with Windows you have the UAC prompt that comes up and says, "Hey, are you sure you want to do this?" But in Linux, you have to use sudo or su, super user. You understand those commands and what those commands mean and why you need to do them. Finally, one of the things that really taught me about Linux is just diving through syslogs and diving through other logs that applications make. Why do these applications create log files? What are these log files telling you? Especially if you're in cybersecurity, you will find yourself 9 times out of 10 digging through log files or digging through some sort of files that create logs and figuring out why this is doing something. So let's say you've used Linux for the past 30, 60 days, 90 days, however long it's been. You've already distro hopped, you've used the Debian variants, you've used all of the Fedora variants, the SUSE variants. You went through and used Arch, by the way. Now you want to further on your Linux knowledge. You want to get deeper into the inner workings. Now you want to certify yourself in Linux. A few of the certifications I do recommend come from the Linux Professional Institute. It's the LPIC 1. It's a 2-part certification. It gives you real-world job skills. It also gives you a better understanding of the Linux operating system. Another one I do recommend is the Red Hat Certified Systems Administrator. And one of the more important things I want to point out is that even though it is a Red Hat certification, it's not just going to benefit you just on Red Hat operating systems. It covers a vast majority of what Linux is. It also covers basic firewall and SE Linux configuration, very important for cybersecurity related jobs. You'll find yourself dealing a lot with firewall, SE Linux rules, a lot of that stuff when it comes to Linux. Another thing I would recommend also, if you're wanting to get a more deeper understanding, is purchasing a book. One book I could recommend is the Linux Command Line. Find the latest one you can get. I believe the 2nd edition is the latest one as of this date. But this is a great book. I can highly recommend it. It goes and covers a lot of what you can do with the command line. So another thing I could recommend is joining various online communities. There's GitHub Linux admin roadmap that you can join. It goes over different Linux administrator duties that you could start looking into, such as automation and what you can do with automation, Linux containers and containerization, programming, basic commands, what Linux is, just kind of an overview of Linux as well. And also gives you an interactive roadmap. There's so much information on here. Another thing that you can also look at is the Linux Upskill Challenge on Reddit. Both these I'll actually link below in my description so you can look at them. This one, the Linux Upskill Challenge, I've actually used. For 30 days, you can go and follow this. And starting from day one, they literally start at the first of the month. They go through, and every day they will take a certain topic and say, hey, look, do this. Comes with little videos. And this, whoever moderates this is great. They actually go through step by step. This is what you should do to be able to learn Linux. So the Linux operating system continues to grow in today's market. Most backend servers are ran on Linux. Embedded systems even. Stuff as small as like a Raspberry Pi, even smaller than that, on your watches, they're all, basically having a Linux operating system. If you venture into information technology or cybersecurity, there's a better than good chance you're going to have to interact with the Linux operating system, even as a Windows administrator. A lot of recruiters and hiring managers are looking for cybersecurity engineers who are at least knowledgeable of the Linux operating system, and not that the logo is a penguin. I mean, anybody can know that. Being versed in multiple operating systems positions yourself better in today's market, and if you aren't looking to progress your career, just looking for new hobbies, the Linux operating system provides so many customizable features, supports a wide range of software for end users, and many of which are free and open source, which is another plus. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something about Linux and maybe a little about cybersecurity. Linux is powerful. It's a versatile operating system. It can help you protect your data and your privacy online. If you want to know more about Linux, you can check out some of the resources I've linked in the description below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Comment below. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what I could work on. Let me know what you want to see next. And I'll see you guys in the next video.